Chumash Rashi, the Torah portion, Vezos Habracha, last portion of the last Torah portion. And we're in the fifth reading. Let us begin. Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, in the middle of giving blessings to the 12 tribes of Israel. We're coming to the end of it. We are in chapter 33, verse 22. Uledan Amar. And to Dan, he said, Dan Gur Aryeh. Dan is like a young lion. Yizanek min Habashan. Streaming from Bashan. Let's see what that means. Okay, 22 in Rashi. Dan Gur Aryeh. Dan is a young lion cub. He too was adjacent to the border. Thank you. He too was adjacent to the border. Therefore, he was compared to a lion. Right, we had that previously in verse 20 yesterday when we were speaking about God. So, because a lion needs to crouch low to be prepared for the enemy that might be coming across the border, right? That's the idea. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Continuing in Rashi, verse 22. Yizanek mina Bashan. He streaming from the Bashan should be understood according to Onkelus's understanding. The Jordan goes forth from his portion. So he's next to the Jordan River. Supposed to Yisachar and Zvulun, who is by the Mediterranean, right? He's by the Jordan River. To the east, exactly. Right. So from the Jordan goes forth his portion, Mimariv Pamayas, from the cave of Pamayas, Vihi Leshem, which is in Leshem, Shehi Chelka Shel Dan, which is the portion of Dan. Shenemar says it, Vihi Kru Leshem Dan. Zinukai, and the Jordan's starting point where it spurts out, Kiluchoi, and its source of flow, Mina Bashan, is from Bashan. It's the beginning of the Jordan. So it must be the beginning of the Jordan that's from the Kinneret, Lake Kinneret. Yeah, up north. Lake Kinneret, it must be from there. Actually, I think I might have here the picture of the 12 tribes. There they are. Oh, hey. Look at that. Here we go. I have here's, right here was Zvulun. Right, he was up here. And here's God. Here's it, right, the Jordan River. Right. And actually, it's interesting. He's on the Transjordan. Because it was Gad and Reuven that were across the Jordan River, right? Yeah. Remember, because they had a lot of cattle. They needed more they had a good grazing area. Yeah. So yeah, you can. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. Baruch Hashem. Davar Acher, an alternative explanation of what this zinuk means. Right, we explained it as that it springs forth from right? So it was like from the Kinneret, I guess, on the Transjordan coming down into the Jordan River. Alternative explanation, Maz, just like the spurt of liquid, that goes forth from one place, and divides into two places, likewise is the tribe of Dan, not the they took a portion in two places. Not is first, they took in the northwest. Ikra and Visivoiseha, Ikra and its surroundings, but this was not enough for them. They came and waged war im Leshem with Leshem, Shehi Mipayas, from which is Pamayas, the Heats Finus Mizrachis, and that is the north and the northeast. What I just showed you is the northeast. Ayardin Yitzim Mipayas, because the Jordan comes out from the caves of the Mipayas. Eretz Yisrael, and that's on the east of the land of Israel, east of the Jordan. It comes from the north to the south. One second. But here it doesn't show. So it must have been taking more land in this same area, because I don't see anything else. And it ends in the northern edge of the Dead Sea. Shuva Mizrach Yehuda, which is in the east, the portion of the tribe of Yehuda. Right, here's the Dead Sea. So so first they had just up the northern part, then they took below further down, that goes all the way to the Dead Sea. Got it. Okay. This is explained clearly in the book of Joshua. And the border of the children of Dan went forth from them. Its place. That the borders of Dan went forth from them. V'yalu b'nei Dan v'yalachmu im Leshem, and children of Dan, they went to wage war with Leshem. Gvul mikol oisai ruch, and the border went forth from the entire direction. But they began to take a share of that. I'm not exactly sure. What am I doing? Sorry, I made a mistake over here. No, God is, we're talking about Dan over here. I don't know why I mixed in God. Dan is over here by the Mediterranean, and it goes across. Yeah, God, goes across to the end, like from the Mediterranean across this way. Okay. Uh, hmm. I don't think so. I think no. Okay. 23. Naphtali. So let's first find Naphtali here. Naphtali is the furthest north. Way up here. You see? Naphtali is way up here. Furthest north. Let's do the pasuk. Well, Naphtali Amar into Naphtali. He said Naphtali Sva Ratzei. Naphtali is favorably satisfied, umale, and full, Birchas Hashem, of God's blessings. Yam Bidorim Yeresha. The Yam, which is the sea, Vidorim in the south, Yeresha is what he possesses. Let's see what Rashi says. Maybe this is not according to Rashi's opinion. Okay, 23. Tzva Ratzain, for a fulfilled of desire, Shahaitza Arza Sveya, his land was satisfied, called Ratzin Yeshveha, all the inhabitants, with all of its inhabitants with desire. In other words, those who lived there, they were satisfied with everything that they had. Yam Dorim Yerasha, they're taking possession of the sea and the south. Yam Kineret Nafla Bechelke. The Kinneret Sea fell in their portion. Okay, I see it. Yeah. So it's like over here. This is the Kinneret right there. So they're on top of the Kinneret. This is the Kinneret, and they're on top right here. You can see that, right? And they took a portion of a rope's length of a fishing net, Bidroime, at its south, Lifresh Charamim Mechmoros, that they spread out nets and snares, right? Because they're touching the Kinneret is theirs, and that's what it means, the sea, right? And so they had the fishing rights, I guess. Yerasha, they take possession. Lashon Tzivu is a command. Kamay Ale Reish, like the word go up and take possession. Tam and Lamaila Bereish, Mechiach, and the accent on top indicates that. Kamosh Slach, Yada, Lakach. It's just giving different examples. Shemaisid by hey, you added a hey to it. Yeah, Tam Lamaila Slacha, Yada, and Lakacha Shema. Okay. Afkan, Yeresha, Lashon Sivui. I'm going to say Sagdela Matzinu. Alpha Besa. Okay. Oh, some grammar. Okay. Next. Asher. In 24. So Asher is next door to Naphtali, next to the Mediterranean Sea. Also the northern area. The verse rather, in 24, Lashar Amar, and to Asher he said, Baruch mibonim Asher. So to Asher he said, blessed of sons is Asher. He will be pleasant to his brothers. The Toivel b'shem and raglai, and he will immerse his foot in oil. Toivel means to immerse. The shemen in oil, raglai his foot. Let's see Rashi, what that means. 24. Baruch mi bonim Asher, blessed of sons is Asher. Ra'isi b'sifri, so you saw in the Midrash, Rashi says, Ein lacha b'chol hashvatim. You don't have among of all of the tribes, Shein Baruch b'bonim ka Asher. that should be blessed with sons like Asher. But I don't know how. In other words, he's being blessed, but he doesn't know how that played itself out in future generations, right? Excuse me. Okay, next Rashi. He Ratziyecha, and he shall be pleasing to his brothers. Shahaya Misratziyecha, he would make himself pleasing to his brothers. Beshemen anpi kainen, with anpikainen oil. What's anpikainen oil? Oil from olives that reached a third of their growth. Such oil is used for cosmetic purposes. All right. Dainties, and they would please him. With produce. Alternative explanation what this means that he's pleasing, right? He shall be pleasing to his brother. It means the daughters were attractive. They got blessed with sons, and the daughters were attractive. And this is what it means in the book of Chronicles. Hu Avi Bar Zayis. He was the father of Bar Zayis. The daughters would marry the high priests and malachim into kings. Because they were anointed with olive oil. So they had, I guess the two might come together. Cosmetics, is going to help beautify. There's a similarity there. Yeah. Okay. Fine. I don't know how that fits in over here, because the second explanation is that they were themselves attractive, right? So I don't know what the food has to do with it, unless it's the first explanation that the olive oil, but that they're speaking about cosmetics. Okay, fine. We're good?
Yeah, you're back to Rashi.
Yes. V'teivel b'shem ragloi. And he immerses his foot in oil. What does that mean? The land would be full of oil like a spring. So there was an incident. That the people of Laodicea, which is in Asia Minor, or in Asia place, right? Not so close by, in other words, right? They needed oil. They anointed a non-Jewish emissary, as it says in the Talmud. In other words, because they had so many olive trees growing, and they had a lot of it. Okay. 25. Barzel. Barzel, iron. And Menachishis is copper. Minalecha, we're locked up. Ukayamecha davecha. And like your days of old will be your days of youth. Okay? Another metaphor that Rashi will unpack for us. 25. Barzel Menachishis Minalecha. Iron and copper are your locks. Akshav shehu medaber keneged kol Yisrael. Now he's speaking towards all of the Jewish people. In other words, he finished with all the tribes. All 12, well, actually only 11 got, because Shimon didn't get blessed. But all the blessings are done. Now he's speaking to the entire Jewish people, Moshe. Right? And he's telling them, for their mighty warriors of each tribe would live on the border towns of the tribe's territory. And they would lock up the country that way. That the enemies would not be able to enter it. As if it were closed up. With locks and irons, locks and bars rather. Bars and cheshes are made up of iron and copper. Right? So they were responsible to make sure there'd be no entry of. So you had, it's interesting. So you would have on different territory fronts that would protect. Excuse me. Yeah. Alternatively, bars and what does it mean? The locks are iron and copper. It means artsam the ula beharim. The land is locked with mountains. From which they mine iron and copper. Artsa shalasher in the land of Asher. Hais menula shel Eretz Yisrael was the lock of the land of Israel. Yeah. Okay. Next Rashi. Okay, like your days of youth are your days of age. Literally means davecha means the age of flowing. So Rashi explains, okay, yamecha shem tovim lecha, like the days that are good for you. Shehem yemeti tchilasecha, which are the days, from the beginning. Yemenu recha, the days of your youth, v'chenu yemei ziknoscha, so shall it be in your old age. Just like, you're having the best days of your life should be your youth. So will be your days of old age. Zavim mismoitetim, that they will ooze away. Okay. Alternative explanation, what it means, like your days of flowing, right? Will be your old age. Another explanation that he says, Kaminyan Yamecha, like the number of days that is, all the days that you will do the will of God, Davecha shall be your flowing. Shikola says all the lands, you Davis Kesef Zav Eretz Yisrael. They will cause silver and gold to flow into the land of Israel. Shitim Vrechas Beperis, because it will be blessed with fruits. And all of the lands will be sustained from it. And extend to it their silver and gold, as it says in Old French, encore. Right? In other words, you're doing God's will, then then the money will flow in. The kesef is of mayhem, and gold and silver and gold will be depleted from them. Shame is when they will take it will make it flow to your land. From them it'll be depleted, and we will have the gold and silver. Last pasuk, Ein Kel Yeshua. There's no God Yeshua, and there is none like God. And we'll see Rashi. Shamayim be'ezrecha. Huh? I'm doing 26. Huh? I didn't finish the verse. I'm in the middle of the verse. I'm doing it right now. Right. Ein Kikel. There's none like God, Yeshurun, Yeshurun. Reichav Shamayim, he rides the heavens, Be'ezracha, and is at your assistance, Ubega'avosa Shachakim, and his majesty is in the sky, Shachakim. Rashi 26. Right. Enkekel Yeshurun, there's none like God, Yeshurun. Da'alacha Yeshurun, you should know Yeshurun. 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 You should know Yeshurun. You know, the Jewish people, they're called Yeshurun. She'ein kekel b'chol elokei amim. There's none like God among all the gods of the nations. Lo tzurcha tzuram. And your rock is not like their rock. Reichav Shemaim, he's the rider of heaven. Hu oisei elokah, he's the God, Shebezcha, who's at your assistance. Begavascha, in its majesty. Hu reichav shachakim, he's the rider of the skies. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Yeah. Hi, folks. Oh, Andrew was waiting. All right.
Thank you.